Sturdy Fingers
TV
Sturdy Fingers
Democrats doing the same thing over and over. We need something different. Let's do something different. Vote for me. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm going to pull you.
Boom, what up dude? Today we are back with a brand new video. Now today I want to talk about this crazy situation in which 337 bikes were stolen. Now a bike company called RE Bikes is the recent victim of a $1.7 million bike heist. Despite the fact that they have insurance, this is still a gigantic financial blow to the company, and I'll explain why. So here's what happened. A bike company called RE Bikes, who makes a variety of bikes, including e-bikes, was recently robbed. Now, back in March, they had a container from Asia hit the water completely tariff-free, and I will revisit the tariff topic later in this video. Now, the container was filled with 337 bikes worth $1.7 million. The container was lifted out of the boat and then into a truck in Los Angeles. The bikes were then expected to be transported by the truck from Los Angeles to the bike company's headquarters in Utah. Now, this trip takes less than a day. However, during this time, this gigantic shipment of bikes completely vanished. And to add insult to the injury, about half of these bikes were pre-sold. So customers are really upset, to say the least. Now, these customers will definitely still get their bikes eventually. However, there will be a significant delay. And now many people wonder how such a large shipment could seemingly vanish. However, these large shipments do go through many different people, so it does get rather complicated. Now, there's the original shipping company in Asia, which then ships out the order, and then the shipment reaches Los Angeles, and from that point, a separate trucking company then picks up the order. It sounds like they know that the shipment was, in fact, picked up in Los Angeles. However, from there, it's a mystery as to where exactly it went. Now, many delays were reported to the bike company, and RE Bikes eventually reported it to the police. The suspicion is that the shipment was picked up from the port, but that it may never have actually left Los Angeles. Then on Monday morning, RE Bikes was notified that the shipment was officially missing. RE Bikes then took to Instagram to let their customers know what happened, and even asked for some help if anyone out there happens to see the video and happens to have any information which could lead to the recovery of these bikes. So again, the customers will eventually get their order, but as of now, the timeline is completely unknown. And customers who don't want to wait will have the option to get a refund. This situation gets even further complicated when you factor in the tariffs. And if you haven't seen any of my videos on tariffs, please check those out. I've got several videos in which I break down how these tariffs work and why they are very negative for the e-bike industry, in addition to the United States as a whole, in addition to many countries that we work with. Now, as I said earlier in the video, their initial shipment was not affected by the tariffs. However, since that time, our president has started a major trade war. And I have several videos that break down this trade war. So please check those out as well. Now, current and future orders that the bike has with Asia will now have a 10% tariff on it, and that will be a big financial hit to the company. RE Bikes will have to eat those costs for the customers, at least for now. So, in other words, if you're a customer and you purchased a bike and it was on that shipment that got stolen, you're still going to eventually get your bike at the same price, or you can also get a refund. But going forward, the prices for RE bikes are likely to go up because they can only eat that difference of cost for so long, meaning the higher the tariffs are, the more that they have to pay and the more that they have to charge you, the consumer. So when our president raised the tariffs on all these different countries, what does that equal? It equals higher prices for us. And some people believe that this is part of a master plan and it'll all get sorted out and we will reign supreme as the kings of the world, and everybody will have to come and beg us to do a nice deal with them. And on the other side, some people think this is a complete mess and we're flying by the seat of our pants and we've upset a lot of our allies who no longer trust us and would prefer not to work with us if they can find alternative deals with other countries. But let's not get too into the tariffs. Let's get back to the bike heist. So they were able to see that the container never did, in fact, leave the LA area, and they were able to locate the driver and the container that the bikes were initially supposed to be shipped in. However, the contents of the container had been changed by the time they were able to connect with the driver. In addition, there's a report that one of the brand's unreleased models was taken into a local bike shop only 3 miles from the driver's home in Los Angeles. And the person who brought the unreleased bike model into the shop was looking for a small part for the bike. So it sounds like the police are currently gathering all this information, but no one has been officially charged as of now. Now, Southern California has a special unit for cargo theft called Cargo Cats. Yes, that's real. That is the term that they go by. Now, cargo theft is actually fairly common, and it's likely to get worse with the financial issues that our country is currently facing. So the best case scenario is that the shipment is eventually located and the bikes are delivered to the customers. However, the more time passes, the less likely it is that those bikes will be recovered. However, on the other hand, if they are able to put some pressure on the truck driver and or the person who tried to bring the unreleased model into the bike shop, it could be a race to see who the first one is to snitch on everybody else in order to get the best deal. There's no honor among thieves. You know what it is. So, you do the crime, you do the time. Or, you do the crime, you make the best deal, tell on all your friends so that you do a little bit less time. And then, when you're out on the streets, you're now a wanted man. Everybody knows. Snitches get stitches. And life isn't always so sweet for a dirty, filthy rat who was a thief and became a rat. Don't be either one of those, just be a normal human being that actually pays for your product. Pay for your e-bike. Don't steal your e-bike or regular bike, please. That is my recommendation. So, hopefully these guys or girls get caught and they make an example out of them. And if you happen to see some new RE bikes floating around on the e-bike market, beware and consider reporting them if it seems suspicious. That's right. Consider dropping a dime on these no good, dirty bike thieves. We're not feeling that in the bike world. Now, these new models are going to be floating around somewhere, and I'm assuming that the people behind the heist will want to get rid of them as fast as possible. RE Bikes is in a good financial position from all accounts. However, for many bike companies, this could completely bankrupt them, especially when you factor in the trade war. And the trade war alone could bankrupt many beloved bike and e-bike companies if this goes on for too much longer. Now, as I reported in my previous trade war videos, the vast majority of e-bikes, in addition to e-bike components, come from China. And that is specifically the country that President Trump has picked the biggest fight with. Now, he ended up pausing the tariff hike on many countries, but he specifically jacked up the tariffs on China even more, just to throw a little salt in the wound. And China is not happy about it. And they have responded with higher tariffs of their own. So if you want to learn more about that, please check out my tariff videos. And let me know what you guys think about this. Have you ever heard of a bike heist quite this big? Do you think that the bikes will be recovered? Or do you think that they are forever gone and RE Bikes will simply have to take an L on this one and tighten things up in the future in order to make certain that this doesn't happen again? I want to know your thoughts below. And if you're interested in a new e-bike, please check out the brand new Aventon Soltera 2.5 in the mint green Baja colorway, or check out the Ride1Up Roadster V3. I've got links in the description for both of those bikes, in addition to review videos for both bikes. And as always, I appreciate you watching my video. Please like, please subscribe. I'll see you on the next ride. Boom!
If you want a new electric bike, use my links and discount codes in the description below. Also, please like, subscribe, and say what's up in the comment section below. Check out another video right here, and check out another video right here. You decide, you're the boss.
Boom.
Perfect.